Hello everybody, this is Eric from Beautiful Void Audio, and today I will be talking with you about Elixer prepared tape, and this is going to be available through Contact Hub and Triple Spiral Audio. It's the sequel to the Lost Tapes, Elixir the Lost Tapes, but it's quite a bit different because whereas that project was more based on the Boards of Canada sound and my interpretation of it, this one is more kind of an outgrowth of that, where while I was working on the project, I felt like I needed to add some old dialogue because that was lacking in head phase. And then towards the end of the project, I thought, what would happen if I looked through even more of these old recordings and tried to get playable instruments out of old recordings of singers and violin sounds, orchestral sounds in general, just anything, just any sound that I could find. And so that's what that was inspired by, what Prepared Tape was inspired by. So, excuse me. So through that project, that process of finding those old sounds, we have about 400, actually precisely 419 sounds, and then we have those in 8 distinct categories and NKI patches. So we have bells, brass, FX and miscellaneous, keys, strings and orchestra, synths, and voices. And there are roughly 20 or so snapshots per NKI patch. And then we also have the NKI patch with everything, and those will be in the order that they are in their distinct separate patches. So we had the bells, so essentially alphabetical, the bells, brass, and so on until you get to the woodwinds and winds and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go through basically a quick overview of the engine, because I already did a more in-depth overview in the original Elixir, the Lost Tapes, and we'll put a link in the description of where you can see a more detailed approach to the engine. But for now, I will cover the basics here and go through pretty quickly the different pages here, and they're the same as the Lost Tapes. So here you can select any sound you want, or you can randomize and it will select a sound for you. And then you can solo the instrument. And when I'm demoing the sounds, I like to have a little bit of reverb on it and add a little bit of space. So I'm going to do that, and maybe even put a little bit of a high pass filter, just a subtle high pass filter. So yeah, you can just randomize and just see what comes up. And then you have source controls, which would be the volume, tuning, pan, width. Then you have the ADSR. Then you can choose various filters and then add some drive to it. And then, yeah, I guess that's it for that. But one thing you can do is you can turn off the power. And if you want to solo, you want to just mess with soloing a sound, and you still want to randomize all of the parameters here, then I would suggest turning the power off for these, even if you have this off, because it will randomize the sound selection and randomize all of this. So even if you're, it might decrease the CPU usage. So you can do this, and it will just be able to play and hear this one. Kind of a nice sound there. So yeah, then you have the effects page, which has chorus, distortion, lo-fi, delay, filter, more filters here, spatial, so you can add width and pan it to any direction, convolution, and this will affect every sound, and you can also randomize this section. So I haven't changed any of the sounds yet. So again, branching off of this idea of just randomizing sounds within a group or a source and not affecting this, you can, if you like the effects here and you like the parameters here for each of these voices, then I would suggest, maybe demoing different sounds with those same parameters. So just pretty crazy sounds there. And moving on, we have the modulation page, which you can select various parameters to use LFO or envelope to control them. I like to have subtle tuning variations, but you can go crazy with that if you want. You know, you could have tuning for each voice controlled by an LFO. Have it up pretty high if you want. Have the rate really high if you want to go crazy. And so that's just continuous, whereas this is going to be like a one pass kind of thing. Then the movement page. Oh yeah, and also you can randomize that. It's pretty cool sometimes. And then if you want to go back to the default settings, like if everything's kind of gotten too crazy for you, I've created a snapshot so you can do that. So you're never too far down the rabbit hole. And then we have the movement page, which you can turn that on and off here. And I'm going to turn it on for the demonstration. Oh, we got to get more sounds in there, so I'm just going to randomize. Now you might think that the modulation page is on, but it's actually not, because this sound, that's the natural vibrato sound. It is slowed down a little bit from the original audio file. That's a singer. You can kind of tell when you get it up faster. Back to the movement. Okay, so you can kind of change the shape of the movement by messing with the speed and depth and smooth. And if you combine these in different ways, you can kind of get different movements. Just also when you do trigger or no trigger, or re-trigger or not. Because if you put this, the vertical movement's going to be re-triggered every time you hit the key. But the horizontal movement will be dynamic. Whereas if you do this, it's going to go back to the same exact spot every time. And let's turn this one off. So it starts about right there every time I hit it. And if I turn this off, nothing's being set every time I press it. It's just going to where it's naturally wanting to move. Okay, so you can have just one of these on if you want. So this will just go up and down. I'll just go side to side. And then the circular. And when you have sync on for any of these, you can get really fast, whereas if you don't have it on, that's as fast as you can go. So you get some pretty crazy effects doing that. And for the circular, you can change the direction that it goes. The sound is slightly different, just imperceptibly almost. So that's the movement page. Yeah, that's about it. I think I kind of did cover a lot of the engine there. I wasn't intending to, but kind of just happened. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed listening to the new instrument. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.